as you might have noticed, we're driving a Golf R.
That's right.
This is the what edition?
The 20th anniversary.
Cool.
Yes. Would you like to know what that gets you?
Yeah, what does that comprise of?
That gives you 20 badges. Or not 20 badges, the quantity. It gives you badges that say 20.
Okay.
Pillars. It gives you blue R badges. It gives you carbon fiber on the dashboard.
This is high quality carbon fiber.
Yes.
That's nice.
And black wheels.
And black wheels, okay.
Yes.
Well, we're about to do a walk around here in a minute. We're just driving to our location.
Yeah.
But Chris has spent all week in this Golf R, and this is my first time driving it. I very, very recently drove a GTI. I can immediately feel some differences here.
Yes. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time in the GTI as well.
Yeah.
Driving it out to Mama.
Shifter's a little bit tighter in the Golf R.
Yeah. Everything about this car is a little tighter.
I love the way this drives. It's so good. Good brakes. Amazing suspension tuning. Grip for days. We were just out at this autocross event, and we were running the Golf R among a bunch of other cars and the M2. And the Golf R was as fast as the M2, depending on the driver. What kind of drive modes do we have here?
Oh, you don't need it. Just click the R on the steering wheel.
Oh yeah, that's right. There we
You can
go.
also put you in Nürburgring mode if you'd like that. The regular race is pretty good.
Race
You
is
get pops
good.
and burbles.
Oh, that rear diff doing its thing.
Yeah.
This does have kind of a spicy exhaust to it.
It does. Right about 3,500 RPM if you blip it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, this car's fun.
I like the Golf R.
Yeah.
Wasn't 100% sold on the GTI. It's funny, this Mark 8 is the first generation where I have preferred the Golf R vastly to the GTI.
Yeah.
Dynamically, it's just such a huge improvement. Rev limiter's fun too.
It is.
Okay, so Chris, give me some specs.
So, 2-liter turbo, inline 4, of course. 315 horsepower. However, if you're in Europe, you get more power, which usually it's the other way around. You get over 330 horsepower if you're in Europe.
Okay.
But we only get 315 because we're just Americans.
They've changed the tune.
That's right. 6-speed manual, all-wheel drive. I mean, it's a Golf R. It's normal stuff.
It's fun. Steering wakes up considerably in track mode.
Oh yeah, it does. It's super heavy.
All right, we'll park this for just a second, walk you guys around it. We've done many, many videos on the Golf R, and this is going to be another one.
But never a 20th anniversary.
That's right.
So we'll show you on the outside what all you get.
Yeah. The carbon fiber in this is just lovely.
It's nice, because what do you get on the regular one? Like piano black?
Probably.
This is better.
Yeah.
Whatever you get, this is better.
Yeah. No. How much is this?
$46,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is pretty normal, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like regularly Golf Rs are like about $45,000. Love the blue. There's a 20 badge.
That's right. So, on the regular Golf R, you get silver. Well, they're like a black and silver combo wheel. On the 20th anniversary, you get solid black wheels, and you get blue R badges.
That's nice.
Usually they're silver.
Yeah.
And they work nicely with the good.
Could care less about the wheels, but the badges are nice.
Blue
The
R
carbon
badges.
fiber is the best part.
Oh, and you know what? At night, and we won't be able to show you this today, but when you open the door, you get a projection that says 20R, which is
Ooh, okay. Fun.
Yeah.
Give me a few revs. Lovely. I'll give Volkswagen credit. They've given the GTI and the Golf R exhaust some character and personality that it didn't necessarily have previously, and that sounds good. I would kind of. Would you take this or a GR Corolla?
It's tough.
Dynamically, this is so much more playful.
This is easier to drive.
It's
too.
easier to drive.
Yeah.
I still hate the haptic buttons or touch interfaces, but the rest of the car is so good I can kind of forgive it.
Yeah.
Enough space. You've got pockets, places to put things.
Heated rear seats too.
Heated rear seats. You've got rear climate control with the vents. Yeah, nice place to be. Let's take a look at this 2-liter turbo. It's always easy to open Volkswagen hoods.
Yeah.
Gone
No
is the engine
engine
cover. those were catching on fire, so they had to remove
really?
them. Yeah, there was like a
geez.
recall. That's why it's not there. So it's a little bit like less exciting looking than it should be. All right, let's go drive some more.
Okay.
We touched a little bit on some of the drive modes.
There are many drive modes.
There are many.
Comfort, Sport, Race, and then in the Race menu, Drift and Special, or you can set your own in Custom.
Custom. So you have custom set too. Steering, race.
I didn't even mess with this.
You didn't touch it?
No, I just drove it on standard.
Pure. It's pure loud. Pure is loud. Drivetrain, steering. Let's do Sport. Adaptive cruise control. I like how you can set your adaptive cruise control to Comfort, Sport, or Race.
Yeah.
Light assist. Nice. Custom might be the way to go, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, and you can also make the gauge cluster look like 14 different ways.
That's right.
Yeah.
You hit
Just
the
click
view, and it looks like that.
2,
or that.
3, and that should have a map, but it takes a while to load, so you may not actually get to see it.
That's okay. We don't have time for that.
That's right.
Oh, but there's also like
There's also the big map,
the
which
Audi
still hasn't loaded.
display. Yep. Okay.
Or you could have
Tron.
Yep.
Tron with a graph paper display.
Yep.
And miles per hour.
And back to where we were.
Okay, I like this gauge cluster. This is
Me too.
nice.
Yeah, I had it.
This looks cool. It's simple. It's purposeful. Clear.
It's a zesty exhaust.
It is zesty.
Yeah.
Chris, what are some of your favorite things about the Golf R?
The zesty exhaust note, for one. But I also we talked a little bit on the way here about how they've kind of just sharpened everything with this car. They've gotten rid of a lot of the rev hang. The steering feels great, and it feels a little bit more playful than the previous generation. The GTI and the Golf R were always like very German in the way that they were just very precise and they didn't really sound like anything. And
They were very good. They were a little bit boring.
Yeah. So they've kind of spiced the new Golf R up, which was my main impression when I went to the launch event of this car, which was my first million view video on the TheTopher.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, thoughts have pretty much stayed the same with this thing. So
It is just so much fun to drive.
it is. Yeah.
Your interaction with this 6-speed manual is really good.
Mhm.
I like the shifter. It has a little bit of a longer throw,
Yeah.
but the engine is so responsive. It's so easy to rev match.
Mhm.
Heel toe is pretty well set up. This pedal spacing is a bit far, but you can kind of, if you do some like foot stretches and foot ankle mobility exercises, you can get there.
That's another thing I really love about this car is it makes you feel like a hero when you drive it because it's easy to get everything
It
right.
does.
Your
It makes
rev
you feel like a good
matches,
driver.
all of your inputs are very straightforward. You're never guessing, and they've just really dialed this thing in properly.
It's very well balanced. We have to turn. Oh, yeah. And another thing, unpredictable pops from the exhaust.
That's right. You never really know when they're going to happen. So
Yeah.
it's like a treat.
Can
What are you
we?
trying to
I'm trying
accomplish?
to.
You should have me do it so you don't run into the guard.
Trying to use this darn infotainment system. I'm trying to make traction control a favorite. I think if you go into the 7 menus and hit traction
I think
control,
you have to go here first.
and you hold it, it'll make it a
All right.
favorite button or
You have to
something.
hit type. No, that's not right. Brakes. ECC.
Probably pull off.
Yeah, probably should. You want ESC Sport or fully off?
ESC off. Confirm. How do we make that a a favorite, though. Here we go. ESC system. There we go.
Oh, that's actually quite helpful.
We can drag it.
Oh.
Yeah, so that we don't have to go through 7
Have you always
menus.
been able to do that?
You have, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So.
I think it should still just be a button.
Well,
that
sure.
would be great.
But at least instead of 7 clicks,
yeah.
you can do it in 2.
Cat caught by a lawnmower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've been driving this around like a 12-year-old all week because it just makes you giggle.
It really does.
It's one of those really fun hot hatches that you just never want to stop driving it.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
So the rear diff in this Golf R is pretty clever. It's actually the same diff that's in the new Audi RS3. It can torque vector 100% of that power, the 50% of the power sent to the rear axle, right to left. So the drift mode, it just sends all the power to the outside tire, overdrives it, and you can slide around.
Yeah.
It's not a rear-wheel drive feeling experience, but as far as an all-wheel drive car goes that can do 50-50 torque split,
Yeah.
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I remember back in the days of autocross when I was serious about that, I would run my dad's Focus RS and I would run it through the autocross course in drift mode because it was more rear biased. And I'd imagine you could do the same thing in this. Actually, I think at Mama I did run it in drift mode at the autocross.
You get good rotation.
It rotates a little bit better. So it's nice in that respect as well.
The Focus RS all-wheel drive system is a little bit different in that it kind of does 60% of the power to the rear, 40% to the front.
Yeah.
But this, it's kind of the same effect. It feels similar.
Yeah.
And it's one of those cars that just, it feels light, it feels chuckable, it's fun to kind of toss around.
Yes.
I like the perforated wheel.
I was just going to say, I like the steering wheel, except for, obviously, we're beating a dead horse at this point, but these buttons are irritating when you're doing spirited driving and you accidentally turn your heated steering wheel
You
on.
do turn on your
But
heated
the actual steering wheel
off.
itself, it's a good width, it's grippy, it's very pretty. I mean, it's
Volkswagen makes some
design.
good steering wheels.
Yeah.
Blue stitching is nice.
Blue stitching is great.
Yeah.
You even get the blue R badge on the steering wheel. So, all the little touches.
Yep, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go into R mode. And the thing about this too is that it gets better the harder you drive it, which is the mark of a good sports car and a good hot hatch. Yeah, I'll be honest, like the more time I've spent in the Golf R, the more I've really grown to love it. We were out in California this winter, and James from Throttle House was kind of considering his next car. I don't know if this is still in the running. I don't know if he's bought something already, but...
I thought he bought a Lotus.
Well, he's bought lots of different things, but he was just gushing over this Golf R and how good it is to drive, and he's right. It's just fantastic. It would be a great daily fun car that you could maybe take out to the track a little bit, do on autocross, take out on a spirited back road blast, and have a lot of fun. And it could take the family around. It's got adaptive suspension, so you can change it from soft to comfort to really stiff and racy. It kind of does it all.
As a proper hot hatch should.
As it should, yeah. That's right. No, I'm a big fan. A few shortcomings, a few things that they should not have done to this car. I would love some physical climate controls. These don't illuminate. But it's all stuff you kind of learn to live with begrudgingly.
This does also have dual climate control.
It does.
Whereas the GTI did not.
That's right. You figure it out. I don't know if you've messed with the voice command stuff at all.
Never tried it.
Yeah. You might be able to control some stuff in this with that, but I don't know if it works properly.
Okay. Try it.
I'm cold. Increase temperature. Don't think it works very well.
I was gonna say, it doesn't care. Also, pretty good ambient lighting in here at night.
Oh yeah.
And you can actually switch. So unlike traditional ambient lighting, this changes your entire theme of the infotainment and the cluster. So if I put this on pink,
Oh yeah, it all kind of changes to match.
cluster's pink.
Which can be a problem sometimes because you're not color coordinating and the Golf R color coordinates.
That's right.
I like that.
You could do orange though, like classic Volkswagen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Also, the Harman Kardon's pretty decent.
Yeah, good sound system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll go back to blue.
Yeah, that 3,500 RPM is kind of the sweet spot.
It is. You'll get ones every now and then that are like proper like firework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in like drift mode, it gets pretty aggressive too, or Nürburgring. Nürburgring is supposed to be like track mode, but softer for the bumps. Is that,
Okay.
is that what I gather?
Potentially. Yeah, I don't
Not doing a very good job of
know.
creating burbles.
Oh,
There's a couple.
maybe.
Yeah. I like how fast the steering rack is. It's 2 turns lock to lock. So it's a really quick ratio.
It's easy to shift it fast too.
It is. You can
Cars
bang
don't let it.
gears.
Yeah.
Just an easy car to get into rhythm with. It's so fluid. Let's keep going. Let's keep
Okay.
driving. I'm having fun.
Yeah. Should try doing some driving in drift mode. See how.
Why not?
Yeah.
Drift. Activate. ESC Sport. Let's go. Let's go. ARF. Completely ARF. Yeah. There we go. It's kind of hard to go straight in drift mode on throttle because the car's always trying to figure out whether it should go hard right or hard
Right.
left.
Yeah. Also, the gears are really short. I don't know if you noticed that.
They are short. I kind of like that
Yeah.
though because you can have fun at normal speeds.
Yeah.
Rev limiter's fun.
Yeah.
The throttle response is crazy.
It gets confused when you try and trick it to do purples.
Yeah. Drift mode is a bit of a gimmick, I'll be honest, but it works well.
It's bouncy.
It kind of bounces around a little bit. It's funny. The BMW X3M does that, and so do a lot of like big SUVs.
Yeah, the Durango Hellcat.
Yeah, the
bounces
rear
like
diffs
crazy.
in those are really aggressive.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It kind of handles like an SUV in drift mode. Beautiful turn in, beautiful rotation. I mean, what drift mode basically does is just kind of dials out some understeer
Yeah.
and gives it some interesting straight line characteristics. In the snow, you kind of just want regular all-wheel drive mode because drift mode will get you 2 sideways.
Gotcha.
If you're on a track though and you want to actually have some sideways shenanigans, drift mode's pretty fun.
Yeah. So when you were ice racing, what mode were you in?
Regular,
Race?
yeah,
Regular.
like comfort, everything
Comfort, okay.
except for engine response. Yeah. exhaust is good. It's not droney or anything.
No.
You guys road tripped a GTI out to Road America with us earlier this spring. How was the GTI on a long road trip?
It was fine. The only thing that Charlie and I were kind of annoyed with is that the car didn't have options that it should have because of the chip shortage. So like it didn't have a Harman Kardon. It didn't have dual climate control, but it still had the buttons for dual climate control.
That's right.
It was like,
there we go.
But like it didn't beat us up, and
That's
I'd
good.
imagine that the Golf R would be the same.
And you guys got pretty decent fuel economy too.
It did, yeah. It got like high 30s.
What's this rated for?
Let's consult the Monroney. This is rated for 20 city, 28 highway, 23 combined.
Okay.
I'd imagine it would get low 30s.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Total retail price $46,485.
Been seeing some markups on these. A lot of people are
What on earth is
paying.
happening?
Who knows? A lot of people are paying over 50 grand for a Golf R, maybe 55. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to pay that much, but it is a fun car.
Well, you kind of have like this whole spectrum of hot hatches. You have like at one end you have the Civic Type R, which is very just go fast around a track and that's it.
Yep.
And then at the other end of the spectrum you have the Elantra N, which just wants to be a 12-year-old and make lots of noise and be obnoxious. And I think this kind of sits in the middle.
This does both things very well.
Yeah.
You're right. I think it's worth the extra 10 grand finally over the GTI.
Yeah.
Couldn't really say that in the past.
Mm-hmm. This brings a whole new level of excitement over the GTI.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you do get one of these. Do you get an Audi S3?
Yeah, it's about the same price, isn't it, for an S3? You loved that S3.
The S3. The highlight here is that you get this with the 6-speed manual.
That's true.
And the manual's quite good. I know some people don't like these manuals in the Golf R and the GTI. I'm a fan. I think they suit the character and the purpose and the feel of the car very well.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of the DSG in the Mark 8.
It's kind of
okay.
cool at first, and then it gets a little
It takes
boring
forever
and
to
dull.
warm up. You like can't do anything with it until like
that's
you've
a
been
good
driving
point.
for 40 minutes.
Okay, interesting.
So.
The clutches used to be pretty weak in these cars. I assume they're a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Especially since we did a whole autocross in one of these and it didn't burn the clutch out, whereas in the past, that's exactly what happened with a Mark 7.5.
Okay.
So, yeah, the thing is, I mean, the aftermarket with these cars is great. You can go get an APR tune, a little bit extra power. There's tons of support with, software and all sorts of parts. But from the factory, this is a very complete package. We finally have proper brakes on this car. I mean, back when I had my Mark 6 GTI, brakes wouldn't last a lap on track. It was pathetic.
Yeah.
But this has some pretty good hardware on it. So, a compelling option. Hopefully Volkswagen. We either need like a big screen where you can multitask on.
Yeah.
We need some more like physical controls in here. I actually don't really mind the haptic buttons on the steering wheel. You get used to avoiding them, and they do give you some feedback when you press them. But this is kind of my biggest gripe. But I think as an owner, you might get used to it. It's just overly complicated and unnecessarily tedious, and infotainment's a bit buggy, a bit laggy. But there are ways around some certain things, like this favorites menu. CarPlay seems to work pretty well. It's just, also, it's such a small screen. The icons are tiny. And when you're moving, unless if you brace your hand here or something, it's hard to select stuff. Chris, you have 423 text messages.
Let's get off the screen.
Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Any final thoughts?
I mean, I was happy to spend another week in this, and it just kind of validated that I still like this car despite some of the things that are irritating. But
Yeah.
I agree with your sentiments on I would recommend this over the GTI, and it's much more enjoyable.
It is.
Probably for the first time ever, we'd recommend this over a GTI.
Yeah, for sure. For the money, for the value proposition. You can see a bit of ambient lighting here.
They do a good job with the ambient lighting. And also the seats, actually, remind me of a Porsche 911.
Really?
Yeah, they're very similar. And also, okay, it's got a manual height, and it's got a manual forwards and back.
Ooh, for the passenger.
Like a Porsche 911, power back.
Interesting. I mean, Volkswagen Group, you know.
That's right.
That's interesting. You have all that adjustability as a passenger. That's great, actually. Huh.
But
it's so funny. Like, driver's seat back. Everything's the same as my Mark 6. Like, they didn't really change anything.
Yeah.
Let's do one more walk around, and that'll be a wrap. I don't love the black wheels. Volkswagen used to have some really interesting wheel designs that had, you know, diamond cut faces and cool shapes, and these are just kind of humdrum, boring black.
The Mark 7.5 had some really cool wheels on the Golf
did.
Car. Yeah.
But whatever, it's fine. As long as,
okay.
Yeah, it has good Bridgestone tires. These
tires are fantastic.
These tires
I was just gonna
awesome.
say, what are these?
I don't know.
They're
They're Potenza S005s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Get a set of these for something.
I know. Well, we have a set of S007s on this Nissan Z this week, and they are not enjoyable at all. Really, they're not. They don't have a lot of grip.
Oh.
This seems like a more modern tire compound.
Yeah.
And the brakes on this are just massive. Good
Huge
cooling. Yeah. Wow. Front end. I mean, they just make little changes to the front end on these. Yeah. The only strange thing is this LED strip that just kind of goes all the way across, but it makes it, yeah, it's very recognizable at night. Actually, could you turn on the headlights?
Yeah.
See what those look like. Yeah, there we go. It's another thing that's haptic is headlight operation. It's not just a switch that you can turn.
Also, I wanted to show you get a blue R on the key as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is cool.
That is cool. Yeah. Good looking fob.
Yep.
Yeah, leave those lights on one more sec. Like that. Blue's probably the color to get this in.
Oh, 100%.
Everything just matches.
Do they do it in any other colors that aren't white, gray, or black?
I don't think so.
I think this is only like color you can get.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd have.
Yep. Okay. I've run out of things to say.
Me too.
So
it's a good car.
Yeah, it's a good car. Maybe we can hop in, go for a little bit more of a drive, do a sound system test real quick.
Yeah,
but,
sounds good. I'm ready.
Yeah. Or wait, do you have the soundtrack on your phone?
I have Ganja, yeah.
You have Ganja? Let's do it. All right. Sweet. Do you want to drive?
Sure.
You drive. I'll operate the infotainment as your co-driver.
Yeah. Did you even change my seat? It feels like you didn't.
I don't know. Maybe not.
You did a little bit. Oh, here, let me just get the music going so you don't have to like crawl through my library of songs.
Oh yeah, I only have 2 songs in my entire phone library, so it's easy to find. Chris, who has texted you 420
Well, you
times?
know what? It's from like 14 past phones.
Oh, I
so
see.
it just
Okay.
like it's like glitched. I only actually have I don't have that many actually.
It's really popular.
No, I'm not that popular.
The music quiets as you put it in reverse, so you can hear people screaming at you as you don't run them over. Okay.
It's not a gradual hit.
It's not a gradual, fade. stupid controls.
That is the most irritating part about this car.
My gosh.
By far is the volume controls.
There's probably a way to like quickly mute things, but
yeah.
as a passenger also, I have cooled seats and heated seats over here that I want to use and operate. Oh, I guess I just hit the climate button. Yeah, there's a learning curve. We'll say that.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that you can see the ambient lighting during the day, though.
Yeah.
That is cool. I mean, I guess it's kind of a dark, cloudy, gloomy day, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Did you notice all of the eco tips coming up while you were driving?
Oh.
Please note the gear shift indicator.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, encouraging you to drive as economically as possible.
It was yelling at me earlier this week because I was driving with the windows down.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It said, please roll the windows up because it would be more efficient.
Yeah, I don't like that. I wonder if there's a way you can turn that off.
I was wondering that actually. Yeah, try and find
Daddy Volkswagen, trying to run your life. Oh, apparently if you say Daddy Volkswagen, that's how you get the voice activation to work. All right, so top tip. Not what I was expecting. Just talk dirty to it. This menu is completely nonsensical. Completely nonsensical. It's ridiculous. Convenience opening. Oh yeah, you can open and close this with your key fob probably.
The windows?
Windows,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, settings.
I didn't, you know what? I just would try and block it out because I did not want to dive into this menu and try and figure out how to turn it off. So
Vehicle.
I was like, no, I'm just going to be wrong.
Interior. Cockpit. Eco tips. You can turn eco tips off.
Oh. You know what though? We should leave them on for the next journalist.
It's true, yeah. They need
Really
those
should, because
tips.
they
They might want to save fuel. Easy entry driver's seat. Interesting.
What does that do?
Head-up display. Position. Oh yeah. Copyright. Oh, the speed's too high to copyright. It's impressive.
And good torque out of the corner.
Yeah. There's a little bit of Lexus LFA
Yeah.
in that rev limiter. Or IS 500, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like the bonus paid section.
I know. Yeah, if you've watched this far, you should subscribe to our Twitch channel.
Yes, you should.
And watch one of our live streams, which we're probably about to do here very shortly.
Yeah, for like 20 minutes because
Yeah.
you have to get home.
I do have to get home.
To your baby.
That's right. Little dude needs his dad.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. One more roundabout, and that'll be a wrap.
Yeah.
Don't run over the cyclists.
Oh my gosh, there are cyclists
Very
just
slowly
in the
and
road.
respectfully.
Yes.
There's happy riding.
Much respect.
Yep.
I don't know that that's a really safe place for them to be stopped, but
It's okay.
it's okay. Oh, it's prompting me to set the height of my head.
Oh yeah, because I.
Oh no, actually, yeah, that's
Oh.
good. No, we're good.
You
I
got
it.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah,
All right, good.
that was good. I've been driving around all week with that too low.
I was wondering if you could see out of that or
Couldn't
not. I
see
was like,
it.
you're not that much taller than I am. Harman Kardon, I feel like, is just okay.
Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah.
It sounds better at higher volumes.
Yeah.
Which usually gives you the vibe of it just being an okay system.
You have to.
You know a system's
bump
really
it.
good when it sounds good, quiet.
Yeah.
But it's okay because you have.
Inconsistent burbles.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's leaving me hanging there.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, that's a wrap.
See you guys later. Thanks again for watching.
Take care.
Go subscribe to Substitute Topher's channel at Topher Drives. One
Yes.
word.
Got it. Me all week.
How do I turn the air down and not crash?